Okay. Good day, everyone. So it's me again, Jennifer and Miss Jen, and today I will share to you the concept about psychomotor domain of learning. So the psychomotor domain includes the physical movement, coordination, and the use of motor skill areas. So in relation to multiple intelligence, this is what we call as the bodily or kinesthetic intelligence. So the use of your motor skills and physical abilities to perform a certain task. So psychomotor means psyche from the word psyche, which means mind, and motor skills that means body. So mind and body coordination. So we use this domain of learning every day. Like for example, doing a simple chores in our home, at home, washing dishes, doing laundry, okay, even in walking, running, okay, driving a motorcycle, a car, bicycle, painting, drawing, dancing. So we use most of our time performing physical activities. So it is also important that we will develop these skills from our students aside from developing their cognitive learning. So the development of psychomotor domain requires practice and is measured in terms of speed, precision, distance, procedures, or techniques in execution. And this is best defined in sports, doing sports, physical activities like sports. That's why we do intramurals every year so that our students will also demonstrate, practice, and exercise and do perform different types of sports. So physical activities is highly linked to cognitive learning. So according to an author, we learn more when we do an activity and not just listen from the teacher. So as the saying goes, tell me and I forget, involve me and I will remember. So students can perform different tasks like baking, playing a basketball, or doing an experiment. The psychomotor skills and their early development help children to master their body through balance and movement, preparing them for the motor needs of the environment and daily life. So just like important life skill like driving, swimming, okay? We also have dancing as our way to express our um, emotions. Going to the beach, learning how to swim as a survival skill. The Dave psychomotor domain is the simplest and generally the easiest to apply. So there are other psychomotor domains presented by other educational experts. But in my presentation, we will use the Dave psychomotor domain. So this domain captures the levels of competence in the stages of learning from initial exposure to final mastery. So how do we develop the mastery or the masterful skills of the students? According to Dave, there are 5 levels of motor skills to represent different degrees of competence in performing a skill. So just like the cognitive domain, this psychomotor domain have levels na ay simple skill up to complex skill. Okay, for a while. So developing the psychomotor skill should also start from the simplest or easiest skill. So the easiest or the simplest skill starts with imitating. Okay. After imitating, we have manipulating, then precising, followed by articulating, and lastly, naturalizing. So what do we mean by imitating? Okay. So definition, the learner observes a skill and attempts to repeat or pattern it. Okay. So for example, our kids like to imitate their parents or older siblings. So for example, they like to sweep the floor, do house chores. They imitate how their parents speak, act, behave, respond to different situations. They acquire the attitude of the parents, their siblings, environment, even the language they use. They learn it through imitation. So, in different subjects like the skill in dancing, what do we do? We imitate the dance moves, the choreography. We first observe and attempt to repeat or copy the dance move. So that is the first step of psychomotor learning. That's what we meant by imitating. The learner here only observes and tries to imitate, copy, or pattern it. So what are the verbs we can use to develop and assess this skill? We have copy, imitate, follow, mimic, perform, repeat, replicate, reproduce, and trace. So I remember during at my younger age, when I tried to learn to draw, I trace, okay, the image. Sa Bisaya pa, paluta, di ba? Kaya di pa man ta kay ba mo drawing. So we try to imitate objects. So ito'y paluta, or in other times we copy the object. Okay? So in dancing, we copy the dance move or the choreography. In cooking, you may imitate how the chef cook the recipe. In, let's say, in IT, your learners or your students will imitate how you create the program. So after, let us have first the learning outcome, an example of a learning outcome showing the imitating skills of the students. Number one, copying a work of art. Okay, another, performing a skill while observing a demonstrator, just like what we have a while ago. We copy the dance moves shown by our dance demonstrators or dance instructors. So after imitating, the student should advance their skill. They need to acquire the skill in manipulating. So what is the difference between imitating and manipulating? So in manipulating, the learner perform certain actions by memory or following instructions. This time, the learner may not watch the movie or the video demonstration. The learner may have memorized the dance move or can read and follow instructions presented verbally or textually. So that's what we meant by manipulating. So in imitating, take note na apa siya visual aid. Okay? Makita pa how the teacher demonstrate a certain skill like how to dance, how to swim, okay? How to sing, how to draw, how to operate a machine, how to drive a car. So i-imitate pa sa students. In manipulating, this time, the teacher might just give instruction. Okay? Or the student may perform a task based on his or her memory. So what are the verbs that we can use so that our students can develop the skill in manipulating? So we can use act, build, execute, perform, complete, accomplish, follow, play, produce. Okay, so what are the learning outcomes? Okay, let's have an example. Perform a skill in one's own after taking lessons or reading about it. Okay. Another one, follow instructions to build a model. Okay, so that is an example of manipulating. So for another one, kaning gitawag na to sa ROTC or kanang mag-formation ba? Diba? At first, the officer will teach the mga cadets how to do a certain task like tikas pahinga, lakad patakda, lakad pasulong, what else? Harap sa kanan, harap sa kaliwa, like that, and do rifle. So, ang mga cadets mag-imitate pa sa officer. Then, if they know how to perform the task or action, what will the officer do? He will just give instruction. Okay, dili na niya i-demonstrate, mag-instruct na lang siya. And the students will perform such task based on the instruction of the officer and his or her memory. After manipulating, the students should advance their skill and do this perform this skill in precising. So what do we mean by precising? So in this level, the learner performs certain tasks with some level of expertise and without help or intervention from others, from the teacher, from the classmates. So nanay autonomy and control ang learner. He knows what to do when the situation arises. So what are the verbs that we can use so that students can achieve this level? We can use achieve automatically. Okay, so our students become shows initiativeness to perform a task without being told or without instruction. Excel expertly, perform masterfully, demonstrate skillfully, calibrate perfectly. So for example, doing a troubleshoot to a computer with technical issues. Okay. So dili na ang kung maabot na sa kaninga part ang student sa precising if ang student maka-troubleshoot without the supervision of the teacher or the guidance or assistance of his classmate. They can do it accurately or precisely. So let us have examples that illustrate the level of precising. Number 1, perform masterfully a dancing skill. Okay. Second, demonstrate skillfully a laboratory task to a beginner. So that means the student can do a demonstration, laboratory experiment demonstration to other students who has no knowledge. So after precising, the students needs to achieve the fourth level of psychomotor learning, and this is articulating. So what do we mean by this level? This means that the learner modifies the skill or alters the skill or the product to fit new situations. Okay, here the students can change the choreography, the dance move, can edit the music, can create his own style, combines more than one skill in sequence with harmony and consistency. So for example, ang left and right nga dance, yes, the left and right nga dance na ni Charlie Puth, imuha ng punan og lain-lain nga mga style of dancing na nakailahi-lahi nga witik-witik, jump-jump, style, genre. Okay, so that is articulating kanang imuha kay bawo na kamo usab-usab ba kay na master naman nimo ang concept or ang skill. So how do we develop this level? We can use the verbs like adopt, construct, combine, create, customize, modify, formulate, alter, originate. Okay? So if the students can perform these actions, then the students shows the skill in articulating. So let us have some examples. Number 1, combine a series of skills to produce a video that involves music, drama, color, sound, and etc. So, na siya yung mga video editing skills, mga effects, mga background music, okay? So, pwede na siya makaproduce o iyahang kaugalingon nga product. Next, another one, combine a series of skills or activities to meet a novel requirement. So, for example, research. Okay, here you combine your skill in communication, problem solving, okay, and yes, math. Napo na siya, involves na siya. Also written and oral communication skills. Another for IT students, so instead nga sa imitating, imitate sila sa ka-program, in articulating, maghimo na sila ilahang kaugalingong program. So the last one is naturalizing. So here, the learner perform actions in an automatic, okay, intuitive, natural, or unconscious way. So that means a precise action can be performed by the students naturally, okay, without without hesitation, maka-execute ang estudyante. So what are the verbs so that the learners can develop the skill in naturalizing? Create, design, develop, invent, manage naturally, perform perfectly. Okay, so some examples under this level. Number 1, maneuver a car into a tight parallel parking spot. Okay, so gamay kayo ang parking spot niya, maayo kay siyang mo park. So nadyo may nga situation ba nga kanang we face a very difficult situation, but yet our students able to provide a solution, correct and efficient solution. Another one, operate a computer quickly and accurately. Third, display competence while playing a piano. Okay, the good example is Michael Jordan playing basketball. So kaning mga all-stars nato anong nagplay sa NBA, for sure they have achieved the last level of psychomotor learning, that is naturalizing. That means it is natural for them to perform a certain action in basketball. So for example, Michael Jordan, why he is the best player in basketball? Because ni go beyond pa jud siya sa ganing ideal pa jud nga kanang action. He is smart and he can execute perfectly an action. So that is naturalizing. So muna ni ang pinaka kuan diri na nato makita nga master na jud kayo niya. So kita sad teachers dili lang ni para sa atong mga students, dapat naa sa tani. We need to develop our skills, ang cognitive domain katong remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Kita po, dapat nata sa tani, imitating, manipulating. So you may copy the style, okay, the teaching style, teaching method. Then you can execute it perfectly until you will know how to create a teaching strategy or a learning material nga effective kayo para sa inyong estudyante, and it becomes natural to you. Becoming an effective teacher becomes a natural way to you. So teaching in an effective way will be natural to you. So let me review the 5 levels of psychomotor learning. We have imitating, manipulating, precising, articulating, and lastly, naturalizing. So psychomotor skills or physical skills, which includes skills utilizing the hand, the hand and the eye coordination, such as throwing a ball, playing marble games, shatong, driving a car, cooking, executing home chores, doing laundry, operating a machine, walking, running, playing sports, or playing an instrument like violin, guitar, or even typing in a computer are very important skills that we need to develop to our students aside from developing their cognitive domain. These psychomotor skills and their early development help children to master their body through balance and movement. And giving these activities helps them prepare for the motor needs of the environment and the daily life, like driving a car, operating a machine, like the sewing machines. Okay. So to end our lesson about psychomotor domain, I'd like to share this to you. Physical activities advance the child's physical, intellectual, and emotional growth. As they say, action speaks louder than words. So thank you so much for listening.